Hey there gang, Kawaii50 here with another Fate Grand Order and Honkai Star Rail video. Because of that news today, my gosh, if you've been living under a rock, not in both fandoms, Star Rail officially announced that they will be having a collaboration with Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works in Q3 of 2025. Now, there's speculation, maybe it's just going to be costumes, maybe this is going to be merch, but I refuse to believe that. I think this is going to go deeper. So, of course, we've got to talk about what's this going to mean? Who could potentially show up in this collab if we are getting Fate characters in Star Rail? What kind of door does this open? And why Unlimited Blade Works specifically? So we're going to be going over all of that. Hopefully you find this video enjoyable. If you do, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, etc. All those things would really help me out as we try to get to 10K subs by the end of the year. I am hopeful we can do it, and I hope you will help me out along the way. Alright, enough blabbering, let's talk. So if you're a Fate fan watching this video that doesn't know in particular what I'm talking about, Honkai Star Rail is a very recent gacha game, recently celebrated its 1-year anniversary, made by HoYoverse, and it's pretty big and pretty good, and it's making a ton of money, consistently topping the Sensor Tower gacha rankings. Tons of players, great turn-based RPG, I absolutely adore it. It is one of the other games I play along with Fate Grand Order. Now, if you are a Honkai Star Rail fan coming to this video and being like, what the heck is Fate? Fate is a multi-work series made by Type Moon, and it tells the myriad stories of usually the Holy Grail War, where heroes from across space and time are summoned as magical familiars called servants to help a bunch of wizards fight over a magic cup and get their wish granted. The one in particular that we are collaborating with is 2014's Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. You should totally check out the anime if you haven't seen it yet. It is on basically any of all the big streaming services, and it is very good. It is a very high quality show, a high quality adaptation, and I've shown it to a lot of people and they enjoy it particularly, so maybe consider checking it out if you have even the slightest passing interest in this collab. Now, you may have noticed while I was talking there that I mentioned Fate as a multi-work series, and with Fate being mentioned as a multi-work series, you might be asking, why Unlimited Blade Works in particular? There's so many Fate series out there, just name off the top of my head, original Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel, Fate Zero, Fate Lost Einherjar, Fate Strange Fake, Fate Requiem. There's so much Fate out of there, so why Unlimited Blade Works in particular? Well, if you look back at the interview that was with David Zhang of HoYoverse, big guy on Star Rail, as well as Kinoku Nasu, basically the Fate man, you will see that David Zhang specifically mentions Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works and the absolute transformative effect it had on his life. So that's as good a reason as any to include specifically Unlimited Blade Works as the collab that we are doing. I feel like this collab was basically just born out of them talking together. Like, that is where the seed of this began to blossom. So this is the entire reason why we are doing Unlimited Blade Works. But now let's get into the more serious questions, like what does this mean for Star Rail going forward? And who could we see from the Fate franchise as well? Well, what this means for Star Rail going forward is, everyone, genie's out of the bottle. We're out here. We're ready. With the way Star Rail is built up, there is potential for us to go to myriad worlds with myriad characters, and we basically have the floor for tons of collaborations. Now, I have a post here from my Discord server that you should take with the most massive grain of salt possible. It's just fun to particularly mention things because it becomes fun to speculate. There is a nestled comment here. So Rejor first mentions, and yes, I'm reading off the side of my screen. 2 days ago, an anonymous comment on a Chinese forum predicted collaboration between Honkai Star Rail and Fate. The collaborator claimed that there will be a dedicated planet, dedicated characters, dedicated light cones, as well as skins for established Honkai Star Rail characters that will accompany this collaboration. The quote over this tweet also says, the original post also mentioned this collab will last for several versions and be designed especially for Type Moon fans. Now, if you were unaware, if you are absolutely unaware of Fate, and that's totally and entirely fine, normally there are 7 servants that show up, and these 7 servants end up fighting, and then after they finish their fight, somebody wins the Holy Grail. If this is going to last for 7 versions, that means we have the potential to maybe get all 7 servants that show up in Unlimited Blade Works. And I'm not gonna, show all of them in particular, just because, I might not potentially want to. Screw it. We'll show them anyways. Those servants are gonna be Artoria Pendragon, Archer, I'll just say Archer, Ku Kalane Lancer, we've got Medusa, we've got Medea, we've got Sasaki Kojiro, and we've got Heracles. So potential for all 7 of these super cool looking characters to show up in Star Rail with different paths, different elements, be able to enjoy your team. If this is the level of expansion that we are seeing on these collabs, then we can potentially see huge rosters of characters from myriad video games and anime, basically anything anyone at HoYoverse might be interested in. And that is a huge door to open up and a huge potential to bring a ton of new fans into Star Rail. Like I said at the top with that post, this is designed specifically for Type Moon fans. So this is designed to try to pull Type Moon fans into Star Rail and is officially sanctioned by Type Moon. So I think that's just a massive win for all of us that are fans of both of those things. Now, I mentioned all of those characters that are showing up, and there are, a couple characters that are definite standouts. If they are not going to do the entire gamut of characters I've mentioned that you saw pop up along the screen, well, there is potential for 2 that I think they would be absolutely remiss to not include. The first one is, of course, going to be Artoria, Saber. She is the absolute poster girl of the Fate franchise, and is one of the main heroines for Fate Stay Night. One of them. There, I corrected myself. Don't get angry at me, Tosaka, Rin, and Sakura Mato fans. Don't you dare do that. So, Saber, I feel like, is a given. That's who everyone is going to want to show up more than anything. To personally make me happy, and I think it's likely because David Zhang specifically mentions how this character completely and utterly changed his philosophical outlook on life, we gotta get Emiya. We gotta get Emiya. I love Emiya. Emiya is great. I really want to see this guy show up with his twin swords and do some damage in this game. So I think those are our 2 likeliest characters that we would end up getting in this collab. Of course, there's potential for any of the other characters I previously mentioned to show up as well. There's, of course, a bunch of other characters, a bunch of other masters who end up controlling the servants for you non-Fate fans. They could show up as characters that end up fighting, because some of them are pretty dang good at fighting, like a certain priest who likes to smile and eat mapo tofu a lot. And there is also, of course, the legendary Gilgamesh. People love Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh prints money as a character, and Gilgamesh is a great character that is layered and very, very difficult to comprehend and put into a box. Of course, people would also potentially like to see the other heroines, Rin and Sakura, but most likely Rin, since this is specifically an Unlimited Blade Works collab. In addition to Saber being the main heroine and poster girl of the whole franchise, Unlimited Blade Works is what many would call Rin's route. So I think if we have a 3rd possible character showing up alongside Saber as well as Emiya, Rin is going to be that character. At the bare minimum, I expect seeing costumes for maybe the Trailblazer. Maybe we get a Rin costume for female Trailblazer, Emiya costume for male Trailblazer. I think there's a lot of potential in that. But gang, this isn't coming out until 2025, late 2025 of that. A lot of this is early. A lot of this is speculative, and nothing like this has ever been attempted in the history of Honkai Star Rail before. It's been attempted in other HoYoverse games before, such as Honkai Impact 3's Evangelion collab, but not necessarily on Star Rail scale. There's a lot we can speculate about. I'm sure there's a lot of news coming out in future months. And like I said, Pandora's box is open. So there's a ton of potential collabs we could see on top of this. If I, in particular, was allowed to pick one video game for us to collab with, as well as one anime for us to collab with, well, in terms of anime, I really think it is just absolutely a no-brainer. We do need to see a potential collab with Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't care how you currently feel about the manga in its state, just give me Yuta Okotsu in Star Rail, and I will wail heavily and be a happy man. And when it comes to video games, from the gigantic influence it has had on Star Rail as a whole, give me a Trails collab. Please, I need Reen Schwarzer in this game. I summoned for Acheron specifically because she is basically an homage to Reen Schwarzer. Give me the real deal. I will wail Oyoverse. I'm telling you right now, I will spend as much money as I need to in order to get Reen Schwarzer on my team. Though, of course, other characters like Van Arkride and Lloyd Bannings, or, of course, Estelle, who doesn't love Estelle, would be excellent picks from Trails as well. But let me know what other anime and what other game you would like to see Honkai Star Rail collab with in the future down in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the current Fate Stay Night Limited Blade Works collab that was announced, and let me know which characters you want to see from that. I'd like to thank everyone on the Discord, Patreon, and Ko-fi for their continued support. I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. You have no idea how important that is to people on YouTube. So, thank you. Anyways, that's it for me, Kawaii50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.